We're streaming.
Oh, boy. Now you've done it.
Yep, now we doed it.
Now you done it.
I doed it. All right. So
I was like, where's my other screen? It's under this one.
it's under.
The screen is under the computer.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We are live, guys.
Memorex.
Not Five Guys.
Memorex. Let me see.
Actually, yes, Five Guys.
Oh, what? Yeah, you're right. We actually are.
Is that what we're doing for lunch? Five Guys?
That's what we are for lunch.
We are Five Guys.
Do you think Five Guys actually serves you Five Guys in your meal?
Yeah. Every day, each restaurant has to chop up 5 people.
Nope, just one big hot dog.
Cannibalism worked for the Donner Party, so
It's true.
It's true. It can work
They
for
wouldn't have called it
everyone.
a party if it wasn't successful.
plus we have overpopulation. It works.
That's right.
Hey, it worked for Soylent Green, so clearly it can work for burgers too, right?
Thin the
Yeah.
herd.
Though you'd have to watch out. The burgers might change, depending on how a person tastes.
True that.
See, that's why you just have a big vat of people and you blend it all together, so that way it tastes relatively similar.
I feel like
Who's
Willem
relative?
Dafoe would taste bad.
He'd be stringy like a chicken.
Yeah.
On tonight's podcast, if you had to eat a celebrity, which celebrity would it be and why?
Boy, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. That's Willem Dafoe
Danny
stuff.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
All right, I'm getting my. Since I'm using earbuds, things are slightly more loud than I'm used to.
What?
Huh?
It would also kind of depend if the whole, the theory that if you eat a brain, you might get some of the intellect and knowledge from that person.
Yes,
Might change depending on who you eat.
that's true. I watched a movie last night called The Field Guide to Evil. And there was a segment, a folklore segment. It's basically an anthology movie. It was okay. And there was one where this woman appears to this guy in Poland and says, if you eat the 3 human hearts, you will absorb all knowledge and wisdom and blah, blah, blah. So he basically goes about digging up graves and stealing the hearts and eating them. And his favorite was a little baby heart, which was delicious.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, baby hearts.
I think I'd go with
All
something
that
a little bit
knowledge.
fresher.
Well, it had to be recently deceased, so it had to be like
I think I'd
buried
just
within
go
the
with
day.
something like I'd just make them recently deceased.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
Just go
agree.
straight to
Because
the
once
heart.
they're in the ground, you have to worry about, formaldehyde and all those other things they pump bodies with nowadays.
What do you
Good
do
thing
with
is some
bodies?
countries don't do that, so.
Oh, that's true.
It's true.
Maybe not Poland. Don't know.
But I still like the whole idea of fresh. Yeah, it's you go to the grocery store for fresh, right? You don't want it frozen.
Go to Wendy's for fresh.
No.
You can go to Subway if you
Eat fresh.
It's in the
Eat
Subway
flesh.
sandwiches.
Eat
Subway
flesh.
eat.
Commercial.
All right.
Damn it! New parody commercial inbound.
Speaking of which, let's get this thing rolling.
No.
Welcome to the Lovecraft Tapes. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore, and we play Call of Cthulhu, a horror role-playing game based upon the fantastical fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. Your investigators of the unknown are Brian, as Jack Whiteside in Dan Williams's body.
How am I going to get out of this mess?
Gabe, as Roy Arroyo in Declan McDonough's body.
It sucks being Declan because now there's no way that I'm going to get my season tickets honored.
And Matt, as Rocky Arroyo in Jack Whiteside's body.
Well, I guess it's time someone takes a long, hard look at this motherfucking boat.
Jesus. Look out for
That's all
snakes
you
on a
should
plane,
look at,
baby.
too, young man.
With special guest Zach as Carl Kolchak Jr.
Still enjoying just sitting here being tied up.
It's the simple things in life, you know?
It is.
Who
Hey,
doesn't like that?
that's right. What was Matt's thing? My kink is kink shaming. Kink shaming is my kink. All right. Well, let's fire up the resonator to check for any new letters from beyond.
Yay.
Yay. I have a little special effect sound effect that goes right now.
Oh, I made one.
Big money.
On Facebook,
No way.
Thomas Winklespect says, hey, just want to let you guys know I started your podcast Monday, and I'm already 40 episodes in. Really enjoying how you let the characters tell the story and everything builds naturally. Great work.
Woo! That's nice.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, great. Well, before we begin, we do need to take a quick commercial break. All right, guys, you know the drill. Roll D100.
I don't know. It's too new of a drill for me to know it.
You know it.
Oh, that's right. I need to find the.
You got to roll with it, baby.
Oh, Matt and Jeremy.
Gabriel.
Gabe.
And waiting on Zachy.
You
Or as I like to say,
It's really
Zachy
lagging.
Brown.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Holy.
You got to roll with it, baby.
Don't be suspicious.
I don't have to do
77.
anything.
Gabe and Zach, you guys can do your commercial, and we'll comment after you're done.
Okay.
I'm the straight man, Gabe. You're going to be the funny guy this
I
time.
know. I woke up 40 minutes ago, so this will be interesting.
Hey, there you go. It's a wake-up aid.
Wake
No,
up aids.
but okay. Hey, you.
Yeah, you?
Yeah. You know the ad. Are you tired of being the straight man all the time?
Sometimes I am.
Well, we have this new juice for you. It might
Tell me more about your juice.
it might or might not contain some human substances, but like the FDA didn't ask, so
Well, who
But I
doesn't
know-
like a little human flesh in their drink?
yeah. Well, we grind it up nice so you don't notice. But so what you do when you drink this Zeus is you become instantly zany, and then you want to take over every commercial that you ever have to record.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. But do you have something that takes you a notch below zine?
Well, I mean, we have the diet version. I'd say that makes you wacky, not exactly zany.
You know, for the times that you feel like you just want to be wacky and not zany.
Eat with like your girlfriend's parents, and you don't want to be completely zany, like if you were with the Goon Squad, but like just enough to tell a funny anecdote. Yeah, we got that.
Oh, nice. Does it come uncaffeinated as well?
No, that's a ridiculous request.
Oh, shit.
We also don't have that zero bullcrap. This isn't Coke. This is flesh juice.
I expect calories when I'm drinking flesh.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out how to get the calories out of it, unfortunately.
Well, I'll definitely try it the next time I'm going to a party with my girlfriend's parents that I want to be wacky or zany at.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, everyone needs to be zany 100% of the time, so just keep buying it until it eventually kills you. I mean, until you feel like you can be zany on your own.
I'll do this as long as my money's all going to you, so you can keep developing these wonderful products.
All right. For more information, call Matt's phone number.
735. No.
588. No. All right.
Crap, guys. That was
Well,
cool.
that was great. Yeah, I was like, zany juice, Zeus. I love it.
Yeah. Zany Zeus juice.
It's like straight from
Excuse me
Mount
while I go
Olympus.
down to the store for a 6-pack.
I think you need to go to the gym for a 6-pack.
We only sell them in like gallons. Sorry.
No, but
Who's
Jim sells them
Jim?
in 6-packs.
I'd like
And
a
those
liter
6-packs
of
can be
cola.
drawn on nowadays.
You have to drink the whole gallon for it to be effective.
And you have to do it all in one
In
go,
one
too. None of
sitting.
this stopping and starting bullshit. You have to chug a whole gallon.
A whole gallon?
Yeah?
Of man juice. All right. Well, when our let me try this over. When our AI overlords finally emerge from the technological wastelands to subjugate humanity, that product and/or service will be our only hope. Thus, I encourage everyone to purchase as much as they can now and stock your bomb shelters for the inevitable decline of flesh supremacy.
I, for one, welcome our new Google overlords.
Me too.
Welcome,
Put the chip
Google.
in my brain right now.
Just, never invite them into your house. 'Cause
I
they-
already serve other overlords, so
Uh-oh.
Google's challenging us.
He serves Yahoo.
underlords. Yeah.
The underfunded tribe of Yahoo.
MySpace.
MySpace.
I work with Bing. It's not good times over
You guys
here.
heard of this new company, though? Seriously? It's called Earthlink.
If you join E-Machines, we'll give you a computer that never goes out of date.
All right. Now, dear investigators, we continue. Chapter 9, Leapfrog.
Hell House. Oh.
My life. What?
Previously on the Lovecraft tapes. Pretending to be Dan is a tad more difficult than Jack anticipates, even if he is wearing Dan's body like a lumpy overcoat. Suspicious eyes follow him as he moves about the cultist encampment. Cautiously, he enters the otherworldly tent of Cygnus, the cult leader, who almost manages to crack Jack's cool facade. The beleaguered FBI agent questions the prisoner, a Snoop reporter by the name of Carl Kolchak Jr., who suggests that they should team up to foil the cultists' plans. Meanwhile, on the abandoned rescue ship, Rocky decides to seek out the bridge and perhaps radio for help. Roy remains below, going cabin to cabin, searching for secret doors and treasure chests, as his unhinged mind convinces him he's in some kind of dungeon scenario. A pyramid of empty beer cans gets the better of him, after which he hears an ominous metallic creak of a hatch being opened somewhere not far away. Up on the aft deck, Rocky discovers the storm is relentless, and perhaps the ship is not as abandoned as it appears.
Dead aft, though.
Damn. I gotta get rid of these because I can barely see. Jack, you like this Kolchak character. He's got spunk. He's got verve. He's got that certain je ne sais pas, and you dig it. Sure, his voice is a little grating and his wardrobe definitely needs an upgrade, but you could sorely use help from someone who doesn't know you from Adam or Dan. It's going to take some patented Jack Whiteside stealth maneuvers to figure out how to spring him from the tent, though, if you're going to live out your favorite buddy cop movies, from Midnight Run to Running Scared to Tango and Cash to Turner and Hooch to The Other Guys to The Nice Guys. You almost feel bad for slipping the hood back over his astonished face. Time to formulate a plan. From it. Before your brain pan can begin percolating, however, you hear a strange, high-pitched voice with a foreign accent call from somewhere in the encampment, not far away. Hello, Mr. Williams. Dan, my boy. Come try my squab soup.
God damn it, Broomhilda. This is not the time.
You're not there, okay? I'm there. Oh, Christ, another one that I gotta try to lie to.
And you're so good at it.
Yes, I am. All right, so that is the food tent that everybody's going in and out of, I'm assuming.
No. You assume you're in the prisoner tent right now.
Yeah.
All you hear is this voice calling out to you.
All right,
so you know what they say about
poor
assuming.
Bastard with a hood over his head.
Makes mad an ass. There's a monster! Run!
You can talk, Carl.
It's just all right, I'm going to get really, really close to the side of Carl's face without touching the hood.
He's just purposefully making that noise.
And say, I'll be back.
I hope so.
Uh-oh, did everybody freeze? No,
not everybody, just Matt.
Okay. So I'm going to exit the tent, all confident, puffed chest, and head towards the food tent, the tent where the person was calling me from.
All right. So you open up the prisoner tent?
Yep.
And the two guards are still standing outside?
Yep.
So explain to me, describe what you're doing.
Oh, okay. I'm going to I've got nothing from him yet. I'll be back. And then I just confidently don't even wait for a response. I just keep walking towards the other tent.
And which tent would that be?
Number 5, I believe, but I don't remember what numbers were what because they're not labeled. The food.
Yeah, basically just describe. Don't rely on the numbers because people on the audio don't know what that means.
Right. That's why I said I'm going to walk out and head towards the food tent.
Okay.
FOOD, that spells food.
No, it doesn't.
Spells moon.
Yeah, FOOD.
I thought MOON spelled food.
Oh, I'm sorry. MOON, that spells food.
Okay. So yeah, you start walking towards this very large tent where people are sort of hanging outside.
Yep.
The large tent is bustling with activity and the tantalizing buzz of foreign languages. Ooh. Even from several paces away, you can smell exotic spices simmering. People come and go, some carrying paper plates piled high with rice, goat meat, thick, dark curry sauce spread over steamed vegetables, and hunks of homemade bread. Inside are trestle tables where workers sit and talk, eating food and drinking flagons of water. Toward the back are the living quarters, an area filled with makeshift bunk beds, piles of clothes and bedding, plus empty food crates being used for card playing. An obese, sweaty man wearing a filthy, stained apron stands behind a counter loaded with serving pots and platters, shouting in gregarious tones to anyone in line. He immediately notices you and yells in broken English, "Hello, Mr. Williams, Don, my boy. Are you hungry? Feeling better?"
Well, not really feeling that much better, but I do have a little bit of an appetite.
Well, come, old Cajo would give you some food. Have you tried my squab soup yet?
I have not. Or have I?
Well, yes, I think you did. I've been bringing it to you for 2 weeks now.
Why would he
And why did you ask me that?
He gives you a wink. And
Spy!
And then passes out a plate to someone else in line.
He passed out?
He passed out.
Oh.
And then he sort of nods at you and starts almost enticingly, or I don't know. Yeah, I'll skip that part. He dishes up a bowl of soup where you can see bird bones sticking out of it. Nice. And it's sort of this lumpy green. Looks like it has lentils in it as well. Looks pretty disgusting.
Nice.
But the smell actually is pretty good. It's well spiced, and you detect just a bit of ginger in there. And he says,
"What did she do?"
Ginger and Marianne. He reaches over with his other hand and hacks off with a cleaver a big hunk of what appears to be homemade rustic bread. And he gives you a nod head and says, "Follow me." And he ducks out to the side of the tent. There's a little flap behind the tables.
Don't do it. That's what he did with you.
Confidently walk through with my knife pulled out. No. And follow him.
Okay. And he is sitting on a crate holding the hot soup and the hunk of bread. And he gestures towards another empty crate just right next to him.
I take a seat.
And he hands you the soup. And he says, I hope you like it as best as you did before.
I'm sure I will.
And he's watching you very carefully, waiting for you to take a nice sip.
Well, do I have the bread?
Yes, he handed both to you. You're holding both.
So I'm going to dip the bread in, soak it all up, and take a bite of the bread with it soaked up.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a Constitution
roll for sanity.
Roll for soup.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I needed a 70 and I rolled a fucking 82. That's a fail.
So you have the opportunity to either push that or spend luck.
Push it.
Or
I'm not spending luck. I have 19. I'll save that when I need it. I'm going to promptly vomit.
Probably.
What was that noise?
Matt's telephone.
Yep.
Turn it off.
Oh, in trouble.
You're not my teacher.
Come on, man. We're professionals here. Don't be a fucking amateur.
I'm going to hold it right here the whole time.
Good.
Matt's
Not
touching
trouble.
you. Not touching you.
Touching you. So, yeah, you retch.
Yep.
And don't you give me a dexterity roll and take a penalty on that?
Don't do it. You get tricked.
Needed a 60. I rolled a 65. That's a fail.
So you are convulsing so hard that you drop the bowl of soup on the ground, along with the bread, and you're just clutching at your stomach.
It's all an act.
And what you taste is that
It's an axe.
Body spray.
it's a trick. Get an axe. What you taste is just sharp spices of ginger that were just too much for your constitution, and your stomach is so sensitive for some reason. And then you get a wave of scotch coming out of your stomach,
Scotchy,
Yeah.
scotch.
and it just burns your throat as it comes out and
Yeah.
and stains the ground, and you're heaving. And after what seems like an eternity, but it was really only like 15, 20 seconds, you realize that Kajo is standing above you with his hand on your back and sort of like just rubbing it. He's like,
Yeah.
"You're okay.
Very
Look,
tenderly.
It's very cool. Don't worry, my friend. I overspiced it. It's my fault."
It's not your fault. I got to give up the drink.
Oh yes, you absolutely do, and I wouldn't recommend drinking anything too harsh up here.
Between the altitude and the alcohol, I think I've ruined myself for today. Do you have anything that could help me?
Yes, stay right here. I'll get you something. And he disappears back inside the tent.
Comes back out with the scotch he used for the soup.
Well, the scotch was in my stomach from drinking too much.
Well, he also put scotch in the soup.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. That was
He
a
knows how
secret
you like it.
ingredient.
Secret ingredient?
It kills whatever was in the squab.
Exactly.
Ginger.
Kills what ails you. So,
If you're dead, you can't hurt. I'm
you're,
just
you-
saying.
You're left alone out there for while
right.
he's doing something inside. Are you going to do anything?
I'm going to adjust myself and clean up a little bit and look around the tent. I'm assuming all the tents are very similar, material and everything.
Yeah, this one is basically the same sort of canvas that yours is made of.
Okay.
Although it's much larger, and they're using
Yeah.
a lot more tent poles and so forth and
Yep.
strapping. But yeah, it looks pretty similar.
Okay. I'm going to examine how it's attached to the ground, if at all, or if it's just attached to the poles.
Sure, no, it's a combination of both. There are some poles driven into the ground, probably a couple feet, but there are also gigantic spikes keeping the material close to the ground,
Okay.
tight to
Got
the
it.
ground, and those are spaced like every 15 feet or so.
All right. All right. So then I'm just going to wait till he comes back.
Okay, and he immediately appears with a glass of what looks like maybe Alka-Seltzer.
Scotch.
But he also has a some sort of root in his hand, like a kind of looks like almost like a weed of some sort.
Okay.
But it is still, you can tell it was like plucked from the ground, almost like a fresh onion or something. But it's
I would like one a weed, please.
One drugs,
and he
please.
says, "Oh, Mr. Williams, drink this, you'll feel better, and chew on this afterwards."
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I knock back the drink as quick as possible. Oh, it's vodka, you son of a bitch. And then I'm going to say, all right, I'm gonna head back to my tent and freshen up.
Oh,
I'll
no,
be back.
Not
for some
just
food
yet,
later.
Mr. Williams. You sit and rest for a minute. My concoction will take a moment to take effect.
Okay.
He roofied you.
Yeah.
You're gonna start tripping.
So, do you come here often?
I wake up and all my teeth are straight. Wait.
And he reaches over
the
and
dentist
takes the glass from your hand and sort of nods towards the root that he hands you.
I start sucking on it. And then I put the root in my mouth.
So you put the root in your mouth, and it's actually very good. It tastes a little bit like licorice
Or anus.
or anus. Yeah, anus. And you feel like a combination of the concoction that he gave you and the root in your mouth. It has a very cooling aspect that essentially calms everything below your neck. and soothes your throat. Just in case, maybe Dan was, too close to 2,700 kids and got sick all the time, that sort of thing.
It happens.
It happens. I've heard stories that it happens, but I've never actually seen it. And
it actually doesn't ever happen.
and he's looking at you with deep concern as you're sucking on his root, and and he's like, so Dan, you don't really remember anything the last couple of weeks?
No, I've had a hard time.
You were.
Let me take the root out of my mouth.
No, please don't. Keep sucking. So, yes, it was very strange. I mean, you were in and out of consciousness the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened. I just know that I failed the last attempt. But I'm still a little foggy.
Oh no,
on
you didn't fail. They said you were successful, but it was very hard on you.
Just like this root.
Yes, you made a fine conduit.
See, I thought I failed. Nobody's told me any different. Can you catch me up so I'm not stumbling here?
Yeah, well, of course. What would you like to know, Dan, my boy?
Everything, if you don't mind, if you've got
What
the
is
time.
everything?
All
Ask
of
me
it.
specific questions, please.
Start
Okay,
at
what
the
happened
beginning
to the
of time.
dinosaurs?
They fell into a tar pit when this old woman tossed them into her backpack. No, wait, that's a different thing. That's completely different.
Okay, so the last thing I remember is I was on the volcano,
Yes,
and then
I've heard stories.
we all fell into the water, and that's the last thing I remember. I woke up here.
yes. I don't know anything about that. I wasn't there, but I've heard, and I keep my ears to the ground, of course.
Right.
And from what I understand, you took in the spirit of Dagon and acted as the conduit.
That would make sense why I don't have the memory of that.
Yes, of course, but we expected you to regain your memory once you went through the portal and arrived here.
And that's what I'm worried about. What has happened to where I can't recall?
I
don't want to jeopardize what we're trying to do here.
Well, you were saying things while you were unconscious.
Were you in my bed?
Well, no, but I brought you the soup each day. We had to make sure that you were maintaining nutrition, and I massaged your calves and made sure the muscles wouldn't deteriorate.
Nice.
It's
working for
cows,
both of us.
the baby cows that you have outside the tent.
Yes, thank you. Got to keep that meat tender.
Yes, those calves, they won't massage themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. No
So-
opposable thumbs.
Tell me, who is this Tommy Ray?
Tommy Ray. I don't know.
And I never knew that Dan Williams had a sister named Leah.
I don't have a sister. What is going on here?
And he leans in towards you and he says, gives you a wink. I think you do, Mr. Whiteside. And we'll switch to...
What's a white side?
It's the opposite of black front. Rocky.
You can't say that. What?
Rocky. The rain hammers down onto the aft deck, bouncing like a hail of bullets from heaven's artillery. You look out through the hatch, shielding your eyes, scouring the area looking for the bridge. Behind you, on this level, is a cloister of interior rooms that you guess are probably the officers' quarters. Hang on. Above this is the radio tower and presumably the main bridge. Metal rung staircases ascend to either side up to the bridge deck. Just as you're steeling yourself to head out into the storm, sheet lightning erupts overhead, illuminating the clouds and a lone figure standing near the winch. The individual stands, drenched and stoic, looking out at the sea churned up by the engines, his back to you. Even at a distance of 50 feet, you can tell this stranger is missing his left arm.
Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna kind of take a second to brace myself, like hands over my eyes, and then I'm gonna kind of start marching onto the deck towards the guy who's standing over by the winch.
And as soon as you set one foot out the door of the hatch onto the deck, he turns toward you. The rain pouring down, drenching him, his eyes sunken black hollows with just a glimmer of life like glistening raisins. And this armless man, his clothing is just hanging in tatters, and his hair is long and straggly, hanging on his face, and he just starts laughing, this low, guttural, dry chuckle.
So I'm going to very slowly take a couple of steps to him, and at the same time I'm doing that, I'm going to kind of reach down for the gun, just in case. Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
And his laughter begins to ascend in volume and tenor until it becomes gleeful cackling.
If you might explain to me as to what's so funny here, maybe we could both get in on this. And I'm going to take a few steps closer and kind of pull the gun out and just hold it down at my side.
And you're about halfway to where he is, pulling your gun out of the holster, and the voice of this individual is at such a high pitch and volume, it begins to shred. It sounds like his vocal cords are just unhinging and shredding within his throat. And then he launches himself over the side. I'm going to need you to roll for sanity.
No, don't do that. I need to... Oh.
I need to roll. Hold on.
I needed a 70. I rolled a 53. That's a success.
Okay, so you feel horrified that this single individual that you've just found threw himself over from the upper deck, which is quite a long way to the water.
Well, there goes that chance at gaining any sort of information.
And lightning punctuates your statement. Roy.
What's up?
Beer can pyramids on a ghost ship? What is this, some kind of Illuminati bruh party boat? You stomp down awkwardly onto one of the Shemp lager cans, crushing it with your heel, though the aluminum wraps around your military-grade boot like the clutching grasp of a metallic tentacle. Too much trouble to bend down and remove it. Instead, you head back out into the flooded hallway, your footsteps creating a nice patter of squish-clonk, squish-clonk. Almost as if in answer, you hear the creaking, grating sound of a hatch opening just around the corner.
I said squish clonk. I didn't say open the door.
No, you said it at the end of last session.
That was like 2 months ago. I don't remember that. I'll go sort of look for, I guess, can I hear which, I'm sure I can hear which direction it's coming from.
Just down the hallway.
I'll draw my Colt 45 named Betty, and then I'll start walking that way.
All right.
Betty.
You reach the hallway where there's the staircase going up, and then you see several doors.
Okay.
To the north, south, east, and west.
I'll I'll bust in whatever the closest door to me is right now.
Well, the closest one to you would probably be the north door.
Sure. I don't have a map, so I don't know.
Yeah, you should be on the map.
Then I'm just away from the map.
Yeah, you just have to scroll down.
Scroll down. Yeah.
Found.
So this is the door that you're thinking about opening up. The hatch.
Then, yeah, I'll go to that one.
All
The
right.
hatch.
Cool. Then I will reveal for you some more stuff. All right, give me a second here. I'm going to do a polygon reveal.
I have to open every door.
Polygon, Kotaku, they're all terrible journalism.
Can you even call it journalism?
Not really. It's like, it's journalism-esque, but, you know.
It's journalism in the same way that PewDiePie invents memes.
True that.
Just says things and other people do the work.
Stop talking, young people.
No.
Kotaku, Barata, Niktu.
I've never tried a PewDiePie.
Me either. Is that like
You said the words.
I
basically
pretty
said-
much said the words.
The words.
Nickels,
basically.
neckties, dextering.
I was about
N-word.
there.
Definitely an N-word.
God, it was cool to meet him.
Flex, okay.
He's so tall.
Weird flex, but okay.
Not that weird.
Rumble
I
Flex?
would.
Mm.
Flex Rumble Crunch?
Is that the best cereal? I thought Blueberry was.
No, it's not. You're wrong. It's a
not?
ridiculous thing to say.
All right. I think that is all I can reveal for you. That may be enough. So you see a very long hallway that stretches to the east. There is a metal rung staircase leading upwards, and there are several doors all along here. It appears to be some sort of very similar to the hallway where your cabins were.
Okay. First door.
Okay. Select. Doodle-doodle-doop.
I have like 4 episodes of Gabe opening literally every
Every
single
single
door.
door, yep.
Shit.
Squish clonk. Squish clonk.
I'm a detective. I detect things.
There it is.
Whoop.
Once I find something worth detecting, I'll stop going indoors.
I thought you were an
Roll for
agent.
perception.
Aren't you supposed to just like book cruises and airline?
You're a travel agent.
He's a travel agent, essentially. All right, so the hatch, which was closed tightly, you unlatch it and open it up, and you see a very similar cabin to the one that Rocky forced you into. And it appears to be actually well kept. The bed bunks are made, bunk beds are made. Everything is in its place. It looks very almost unused, except for a cup of coffee on the desk that has a bit of steam coming off of it.
I'll walk up to the coffee to investigate.
And you look at the cup of coffee, and it looks like about a half cup of coffee, and it wasn't steam coming off of it. It was mold spores, because the entire surface of this half filled coffee cup is moldy with green-black mold. And as you watch, something surfaces from beneath and breaks the surface, and you see a human eyeball looking back at you. I'm going to need you to make a sanity roll, please.
Blink, blink.
Is there cream in the coffee?
Well,
No, his
make
name
your
was
sanity roll, and I'll tell
Kareem.
you.
Cream and 2 sugars.
Haha, needed 63. I got 44. Success.
Nice. So, yep, it appears that whoever made this coffee did use cream once upon a time. So the
Very
eyeball
good.
stirred it up slightly.
Just for continuity,
curdled.
is it everybody that has to take a penalty dice? Or is it just...
Not Carl.
Okay,
He's in his own body as far as you know.
gotcha. So Gabe doesn't need to do one, Matt doesn't need to do one?
It's only for strength and dexterity. rolls,
Okay.
if you
That's
recall.
what I was trying to remember. Thank
Yep.
you. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah,
Fake
just
fan.
think of like you're in a different body, so you have to get acclimated
Oh,
to...
okay. To use their
Yes. Yeah.
appendages.
So when you try to masturbate, you might accidentally use the wrong hand.
You might just be an apprentice bait.
Right. Exactly. You got to work your way up to master.
Yeah. New body.
So that's what you see, Roy.
You might realize what actually average is.
All right. I'll pick the eye up and throw it across the room.
It makes a squishy sound and rolls onto the floor, half deflated.
Ha. What was the coffee on top of, like a desk?
Yeah, just the desk. Mm-hmm.
I'll search the desk.
Okay, go
Throw
ahead.
the desk across the room.
Give me a search roll.
Spot hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you said search.
I
I
know.
got confused. Need a 70. I got a 20. That's a hard success.
Yeah.
And it's very easily searched because everything is in its place other than this coffee cup, and the room's empty.
Oh, great. I'm glad I wasted that.
Although I will give you as you are searching around, you see those two portholes on the side?
Yeah.
Those two little circles. You happen to look at the portholes, sort of doing your thorough examination, and you see the reflection of yourself in the blackness beyond, the reflection of the glass, and you see Declan's face looking back at you again, looking handsome and Scottish, presumably, or Irish.
Scottish.
One of those. It's the same, really, when you think about it. But you do see
I feel like
that
they wouldn't like that one.
you do see that it is raining quite heavily outside with some flashes of thunder, and you get a good look at open sea. Probably just a few hundred feet is all you can see before there's sort of a bank of mist and fog that obscures your vision beyond that.
What kind of C are we talking about here? C, C sharp, C plus plus.
High sea.
Okay.
Oh, good drink.
It's delicious.
Well, as I'm looking at the face in the reflection, I get really mad. You ugly motherfucker! And I'll punch the porthole out.
Water starts pouring in.
We'll
Nice.
see.
So yeah, you punch at the porthole, and it was it's very very strong glass. So there's no way you're gonna punch through that thing.
Declan's a fucking weakling.
Your hand just bounces off it.
Boom.
If that was my own body, that would have broke. All right. I'll go back into the hallway
All right.
and
Next.
into the next room.
Okay. I love this. This is just gonna be exactly what Matt said. This is great.
Welcome to the
find
Roy
something
Searches Rooms
sometime.
Hour.
No,
Well,
but
I assume I'll see that one of these doors is partially open eventually,
these all seem to be very tightly.
and I know one of them has to be partially open, so I gotta find that one.
So you can just walk past them and
No,
check
I
the door.
can't-
You don't
I-
have to go into the room.
I'll miss loot.
All right.
What if I
What
get
is
rare
this?
items?
So you open up
Looking
the
for that
hatch,
+2 broadsword?
and there is a different kind of light in here. You immediately recognize it because you're a crack FBI agent who often books flights and things like that. And this is a black light of some sort.
Oh no!
Found the party
I'll
room.
cover my jeans up.
They're from the laundry detergent.
At least
the
that's
stains are from the laundry detergent.
That's the glow of illumination that you can detect as you open the hatch.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll go in and I'll search around.
So you walk in and you see immediately hanging from an outlet from the ceiling is a portable UV blacklight. And it's sort of swaying gently with the swells of the boat. And you can see that as it rotates and sways back and forth, it's illuminating these crucifixes that have been drawn on the walls, every surface of the walls and ceiling and floor. And the UV light is detecting them, so it's probably some sort of human bodily fluid or other bodily fluid.
That's interesting, man. I'll sort of grab the. How you said it's hanging? Is there like some
Yep.
slack to it?
Yes, it's like basically just a portable with maybe like a 4-foot cord plugged into an outlet in the ceiling.
All right, so I'll sort of try and get it closer so I can investigate.
Yep, so you easily grab it, and you can see that indeed somebody or something smeared some sort of thick, viscous bodily fluid and
Lick the wall. Lick the wall.
it drew crucifixes on every available surface.
I'll sniff it.
Lick the wall.
It smells a little bit like bleach.
Taste? Is that what you just said?
It's
Like
a little
bleach, huh?
bleachy. Yeah. Do you have medicine? Give me a medicine roll.
Oh, okay, that won't be great, but
Medicine.
that's fine.
Wait, what number exactly
wait,
does he need
what-
to get?
Yeah, what number? I have a 1, so what do I need to get there to succeed?
A 1.
A 1.
Oh, okay, said it. Darn.
Oh,
You got this. Spend the luck.
I
Push
got a
the
1.
roll.
I needed a 1. I got a 68.
So yeah, it's just. I mean, I guess maybe it could be. Maybe it's not bodily fluid. Maybe it is just simply bleach. You don't know.
All right. Who's bleaching crosses into the walls? That's interesting. It's
Clorox
probably the
Jesus.
Protestants. So I have I have a journal. I'll sort of like sketch what's going on, Red Dead style. I probably should have been doing that more than I have been. Do that quick.
Go back and start.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I took a note of the can guys. So yeah, I'll sort of sketch that, like sort of do a rough copy of what's on the wall. I did that with the Portuguese, so
Okay.
there's precedent.
Nice.
Then I'll unscrew the black light bulb and take it.
All right. And as soon as you undo it, the crucifixes disappear. And you're just looking at walls.
All right.
Draw that.
So I'll erase the crucifix from the journal.
That's what happened next.
They're
All right. I'll come out and I'll tell the listeners that I'm going room to room and going in them all, but I'll just kind of go room to room and see which one's open, just for time's sake.
So you step out into the hallway and you hear that ominous creak again, and it sounds like it's coming back from the way you came.
it's Dawson's Creek.
All right, I'll go there. I'll go back the way I came, and I'll go to the door I haven't opened this way.
All right. Let me find that one real quick here.
No.
If it's not already lined up, I'm not going in there.
So as you walk towards this door, you notice that this door is slightly ajar at the end of the hallway.
That's not a jar, that's
and
a
it's
door.
sort of swinging slightly.
All right, I lied then. I'm going to this one.
All right. So, yeah, you see the same thing that Rocky saw. This is really a kitchen galley for the ship, and you smell immediately there's rotting meat. And you can see that there's bits of flesh and bone
Tasty.
on all of the work areas, and with like dried blood and ichor staining the floor.
All right. Is there a light in the room?
There is one of the emergency red lights just above the stove.
How accessible is it? Can I unscrew it and
No,
put
it's
the black
behind the
light
cages, and it's
No.
just a normal light bulb. So, but you can find an outlet, sure.
in? I'll plug in the black light then,
Okay. Yep, you go ahead and do that.
and I'll sort of look at the walls to see if there's anything like that that's been going on. in
Nothing on the
here.
walls. You don't see any crucifixes or anything like that.
I'll look in the pantry and look at the floors to see what's been going on in there. See if any of the workers have been getting some alone time.
All right, why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden, please?
I need a 70 out of 36. That's a success.
All right. So you look around to the pantry, which is actually here, and I'll go ahead and reveal that to you real quick. Polygon reveal.
Guess I just kind of assumed there was a pantry.
Yep, and there is pantries to the side here. Because they're quite large for the ship.
That's good.
Yep. Boom.
Panties to the side. Oh.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
Pantry. So you peek into the pantry here, and using your black light, you find an outlet just inside the doorway. So you plug in your black light, and it looks pretty well intact. Although the contents have been like ransacked. So there are some smashed cans and broken jars and some like basically just think ingredients strewn about the whole place. But there does seem to be something unusual hanging from a hook towards the back that looks like almost a side of beef.
All right, I have my gun drawn, but I'll like sort of point it up and slowly walk over there.
And you get within just a couple feet of it, and you can quite clearly tell it's a human torso on a hook. And I need you to
great.
make a sanity roll, please.
Why do I
Ginger.
I've seen that so many times. What? Ha! I needed a
Nice.
63. I got a 10. That's an extreme, and I should gain sanity.
Lick that.
Nice. So, unfortunately, you will take a sanity point
An extreme?
as you
Extreme.
approach the torso. It swivels toward you so you can see the front, and it was clearly some sort of sailor with tattoos and so forth, but because of your black light you can see that there is a gigantic crucifix someone had drawn in the on the middle of the torso, just the entire length and width of the front, using that same bleachy fluid. And why don't you tell me what is your involuntary action as you see this? It doesn't need to be extreme, but it just needs to be something.
Well, I mean, I got an extreme, so.
No, I mean,
You're extremely
I
insane.
mean, it doesn't need to be an extreme reaction. It just needs to be some sort of reaction.
Punch it.
I'll, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get taken aback. It'll be like a little dream meme where I see the cross and I go back in time and I visualize my cross hanging on my neck, and it pans out and I'm in the gym and I'm shadow boxing. So I start using the body as a heavy bag.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun-
Anymore, we'll get a copyright strike.
Yep. Too many dunts. All right, let's go back to Jack.
Sorry, Matt.
Haha.
I've moved like 5 feet this episode.
I threw up.
Oop,
I
wrong.
boxed.
Zach's done nothing.
I'm sitting comfortably in a tent with a bag
Like,
over my head.
God, this is a really nice material that they put over my head.
Carl
Is this
sings.
satin?
Some men pay for this.
Right?
I'm getting it for free in a tropical location.
Yeah, you've got it made in the shade.
with Kool-Aid or High C.
Sponsor us, High C.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Bye, High C.
Buy lots of High C. And fruit punch. Okay, Jack. So old Keijo is sort of leaning toward you with this knowing look in his eye and kind of grinning slightly. His hand's still on your back.
Move
His
up
name
to
is
your neck.
Keijo.
Keijo. Old Keijo.
Just making
Not
sure.
Cujo.
Nick Keijo.
Motherfucker.
So I'm facing away from him. He's standing up behind me, kind of on the side of me. Correct? Am I envisioning that properly? Okay. I'm going to look up at him and go, "How do you know?"
Oh, don't worry. You're among your friends here.
What do I do?
Oh, you're doing fine, boy. It'll all be fine. It's just that you spoke so much while you were sleeping.
Who all knows?
Oh, just me, old Kejo. I fed you day in and day out. It's our little secret.
Is that why I gained 40 pounds, you bastard?
Yes, no, that's the salt. You're just retaining water.
You should kill him now.
Who are you?
What? I'm Kejo.
Where are they?
Oh, calm down, my boy. Calm down. It'll all be good. It's just our little secret. So tell me, what do you have planned?
I don't have anything planned yet. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure that.
You might want to come up with a plan. Time's running out.
Yeah, I know.
Kill all the things.
So how do I know I can trust you?
You don't, but you don't really have a choice, do you?
You're right.
He's got you there.
Yeah, he has a point.
What do you want? What are your plans?
I just like to watch.
Roll for surprise.
Old Kejo likes to help. I like adventure.
What are you going to benefit from this?
What is this? Some sort of interview? Is this job interview?
What would you say your greatest weakness?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Don't say doing your wife.
Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Doing your wife.
Doing your son?
Just remember, I think we only have like 5 days, right? Not
3
5
days.
years.
3
End of
days.
year.
3 days. Yes.
You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
We're good.
Me and Roy are just going to be off in the ocean, sailing off into the sunset.
I'm going to get close to him, breathing heavily with my scotchy, raw, acidy breath.
And as you get closer, you smell his breath is probably twice as rank as yours.
Nice. I slowly go in.
He outranks you.
Little kiss just on his bottom lip, though, and I bite a little and pull back till it snaps.
Lovecraft tapes.
I'm going to lean in and I'm going to. We need to stop this.
Oh, what do you mean? Stop what? This what we're doing right now? I mean, this is fun. I like to call it role playing.
But you forgot the ball gag.
Oh no, I didn't.
You don't know where he's keeping it, though.
Oh.
So tell me, Mr.
These beats are a
Whiteside,
Nell. They're very fancy.
how did you get in there? And where's
You mean
Dad?
in this body?
Yes.
I have no clue.
What sort of trick are
Everything
you
I
playing?
told you is the truth so far. We were at the top of the volcano, and something was coming up from underneath, and whatever it wasn't Dan. Was there, and he was threatening us. So I pushed him in, and then I woke up here.
I think some other magic is afoot.
I think you're right.
So, are you going to stay in there?
Sure as hell hope not.
I mean, you do have a few more portals to open.
But what body am I going to be in after that?
I don't know. I don't have those answers, but it's a lot of fun asking.
Can I count on your help?
Well, of course. I'm here. I'm old Kajo. I'm your friend, Mr. Williams. I mean, I would say Mr. Williams still.
I'd appreciate that. Keep my
That's
cover.
our little secret. How is your stomach?
It does feel much better, thank you.
All right. Well, you be on your way, and maybe we'll talk later tonight.
All right, sounds good. Meet me behind the tent at 12 sharp.
Oh, well, I would love to. Thank you. So I am now part of your plan?
We'll see.
I'm very excited. This is very exciting.
I'm
I'll get you a cup of soup to go.
I think I'm good, thank you. I will take some bread, though. Soak it up.
All right. Here's a whole loaf. All
Give
for
him a
you.
copy
Oh, I
of the
want
CD.
bread.
I pinched
Not a
it myself.
You forget what happens when you eat bread, though?
I'm going to, if you'll let me, stand up, take a small bite of the bread, and start walking back towards the prisoner tent.
All right. Cool.
You know you're not supposed to trust cooks. Did you not read Treasure Island?
Yes.
Just
I did not read Treasure Island. Yes.
Reading is for losers.
Imagine reading.
All right, so you
I saw the Muppet version of Treasure Island. Is that
There's plenty of movies,
counts.
yeah.
Totally counts.
Well, you always have to trust Tim Curry.
Yes. But not curry soup.
No,
No.
not curry soup.
Not
Scotch
even
pukes.
once.
Tim Curry is in the soup?
Yep. That's what it was.
He all floats in the soup.
That's what the Zeus company is coming out with next.
Zeus soup.
Zeus soup.
Zeus.
All right. So is that cool? I'm going to head back
You
over
tell
to
the
the
tale.
prisoner tent.
Tell the tale.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to walk back over towards the prisoner tent. Actually, before I go, I'm going to grab a cup or a canteen of water. And then I'm going to head over to the prisoner tent.
Okay.
Look at the guards and say, I'm going back in.
They just give
With my
you
crackly
a
voice.
stoic nod.
I'm going back in. So I part the tent flaps and slowly ease myself into the tent.
And your eyes adjust. And you see an empty chair.
And what? I was bringing him water and bread.
Rocky. What would you
Zach,
like to
you're
do,
never
my
going to
friend?
get to talk.
Oh, bother. I'm going to scan around, locate those metal staircases that are heading up. And I'm going to start heading that way. I'm going to take a guess that that's going to take me up to the bridge.
Yep.
Hop into the turbo left.
You're currently right there. This guy is off the map.
Yeah.
And so you see back over here, there is a crudely drawn stairs that say up. Hopefully you can see those.
Yep.
Okay. And there is a similar one on the other side. Okay.
Why does this staircase look like it was drawn in Microsoft Paint?
It's weird because I think they forgot to put it on the map, which is very strange. Anyway, so I had to manually do it. But
fine.
you see there are a couple, right here are a couple windows, portholes that look out. And
There's the
this
portals.
was the interior quarters that I mentioned during your intro. There is a door here just before the staircase, and a door opposite, which is kind of a mirror image. And those both lead into that, where presumably, I think I said, the some sort of interior structure. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of head towards that staircase, but I want to stop and take a peek inside the portholes over here.
Okay.
See if I can't make out anything inside.
go ahead and give me a spot hidden, please.
I needed a 60. I rolled a 41. That's a success.
All right. And so even though it is pouring rain outside and you're getting drenched, you do see that it appears to be some sort of cabin, similar to the one that you woke up in, but maybe a little more nicely appointed.
All right. I'm gonna keep heading over and up the stairs.
Okay.
Cabin search.
Cabin boy. So we'll take you up to what
Welcome to
is
the Lovecraft tapes. Cabins.
cabins all the time. And so basically we're going to go a little bit right of that map, and I'm going to reveal for you some more areas. We'll do a polygon reveal.
Arias Grande.
Oop, I got to kind of... Okay, there we go. Boom,
Arizona Grande.
boom.
Reveal it.
I'm revealing
Ooh,
it.
it's so revealing.
It.
This has to be enthralling for the audio podcast listeners.
Yes, they love it.
This is the shit that I'll actually clip out, so it doesn't
What?
matter.
You will?
Boom.
Clip
All
that
right,
shit.
so we're going to move you up here.
Like a penis.
This edit's just going to be all of us taking breaths.
Yeah. So this is quite clearly the bridge deck.
It's a different kind of podcast.
Welcome to the Plodcast. Although that'd be a good name too. The plot cast.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting one.
Oh,
Anyways.
changing. We're changing. Pack it up, boys.
So Rocky, you step up onto the bridge deck, and of course it's still pouring rain, and you see that there is again an interior structure with a couple portholes and a couple doors that lead into it. Presumably that's the bridge. You can kind of make out that that's the fact. And as a matter of fact, those windows right here, you can see that it's basically all just glass, right? So they're huge storm windows that wrap around the side and lead around to the front too. So it's quite clearly the bridge.
I'm gonna head over to the door and I'm gonna pop it open and head onto the bridge.
All right. You hear, woo! Captain's on the bridge. Boom. Oh, sorry. I gotta do my reveal part. There we go.
The bridge is just complete blackness.
It's just black.
Ooh,
Like a
nice
doll's
bridge.
eyes. All right, so let me give you a little description here. Where is my bridge? You open the hatch to the bridge. Inside, it's relatively dry. A fluorescent bulb overhead flickers briefly, illuminating the control panel, the ship's wheel, which rocks back and forth which rocks back and forth freely, and the empty captain's chair. A compass mounted to the ceiling spins in all directions. The windows, which look to the fore of the ship, are fogged up.
Yeah.
Ooh. I guess we're gonna head over to the area with the captain's chair.
Okay? And it's empty and just swiveling back and forth.
All right.
As well as the wheel is just sort of rocking back and forth of its own accord.
Is there are there any? So it looks like is there something? Is that just where the wheel is, or is there a desk or something to either side?
Nothing that appears to contain anything.
All right.
Yeah, it's just sort of a work surface area, maybe where maps were laid out, but there's nothing there now.
Okay. And then what's behind me right now?
Yep. Maybe there's a little something more I need to reveal there to help you out, because you can just barely see it. But
There's a
there
Demogorgon.
is a door right there, of course.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna head to that door and see what's inside.
All right. And we'll go ahead and reveal that for you. Let me see here. I want to get this perfectly right.
In this room is the alien queen.
Uh-huh. Jonesy. And one more little piece here. All right. I think that will do it, just to make sure certain. All right. I think that should do it. Maps and charts litter this room. Pages scattered loosely on the floor and tacked at uneven angles to the wall.
I'm gonna go take a closer look at the maps and charts. Hopefully, someone put them there for a reason, and it'll give me a hint as to just where the guy am.
Okay. Yeah, there is a stack of what appear to be logs, like travel logs type thing, that might require a little bit more time to study. Okay. But why don't you give me a spot hidden real quick, just for a glancing rummage?
Alrighty then. Ooh, I needed a 60. I rolled an 86. That's a failure.
All right. So yeah, it looks like
Southern Belle.
yeah. I do declare
I do declare I
that's a
failed.
failure. My spot hidden. When I listen under the magnolia trees at night. So yeah, you take a quick look around. You don't really see anything unusual other than this is a lot of maps and charts and nautical journals. And if you're gonna glean anything, it's probably gonna take a little more time to study.
Okay. Do I get like a? Can I get like a more specific like time window on how long I'd have to study, or is it just going to be I'm going to have to go at it and?
Yeah, basically you're going to have to go in and see if you can decipher a lot. A lot of this is in English. You see it both in English and Portuguese. So there are some notes that maybe need a little bit more time to read the scrawl of the coordinator or captain. So it's hard to tell at this point, but you're just going to have to really dig in, and we can figure it out from there.
Spend my
If
luck.
you want to. If you want to.
Okay, yeah. So I'm
It's
going to
always
kind of
your
crack
option.
my knuckles. Looks like it's time to get down to business here, and I'm going to kind of start digging into the charts and maps and notes and see if I can't figure out what the heck is going on.
All right. So we'll get back to you in just a second. Let's go to Roy.
Oh.
I want to open the next door.
So, Roy, you take a big,
Hike.
meaty right hook into the torso, and you hear a rib crack, and that sort of snaps you out of your reverie.
What was that?
Our sound effect budget is gone, so for the rib crack, we just had to use a rib of celery.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
So you're sort of appalled that you've done this, but you see, like, essentially the meat's been pretty well tenderized.
All right,
Tasty.
all right.
Give me a pan, boys.
So I'll cook it. I'll sketch out like I've been doing because I'm a good detective.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right. So
I'm
sketch that
making
puppy.
notes for once. I have to make up for all the time it didn't help.
And as you're sketching, you're sort of making correlations, and your mind goes back to what you first saw back in the galley, and you're pretty well certain now that whatever food they were cooking, eventually they were cooking human remains.
Oh.
It's made of people.
No.
Zeus.
Zeus, made of people.
It's made of
for
people.
I wonder how it tastes.
Takes a little to needs some salt.
They're gonna eat you. Then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god. All right. Well, that experience behind me, I guess I'll go back out into the galley. Oh, I'll shut its eyes.
Oh, it doesn't have eyes. It's only a torso.
It's just a torso.
Oh, that's where the coffee is. That's where it came. The eyes went in the coffee. Okay.
So you just put the eye right in the stump.
Yeah.
This belongs to you.
And you hear, as you leave the pantry and go back out of the galley, you hear a ghostly voice behind you sing, "I'm just a torso, and everywhere I go."
All right. All right.
All right.
He's
all
got
right.
bars.
I'll just get a cell signal out here.
I don't know.
Come on, it's not your body, by the way. You know, go ahead
Oh,
and
that's
defile
true.
it with.
I'll eat it then.
Now. You know,
Yang.
That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be Roy hanging there.
Creak.
Well, yeah.
you sure it's not? It's just the torso.
That's true. I think I know my own torso.
And everywhere you go.
Tattoos, though.
Yeah, so it's not mine. Okay. Well, I'll sort of once over the galley to see if I can find out what's been creaking all these doors about.
Well, it's clearly the door right here into the galley that was swinging wide.
Yeah, so I'm looking to see if there's anything in here. Like I'll search pantries and
Well,
what have
there is
cupboards.
there is an oil can.
Oil
okay.
can.
I'll drink it.
Cooking oil or machine oil?
Machine oil.
Okay.
And
That's
and
strange.
someone has handwritten on it. Actually, used one of those label machines. It's stuck to it. It says, "For creaking hatch doors only. Do not use on human remains."
All right, I'll take the oil and I'll grease up the creaky door.
All right, and yeah, it swings freely now and without the creaks. It's very nice.
And
Right above your
investigation
head.
over. We did it.
Above your head, you see an achievement. It says creaky door, 10 plus 10.
Achievement unlocked.
All right, we've solved it all. The
Looks
mystery of the
like we
creaky
made
door is
it.
over. All right. I'm taking the oil. It's mine
It was
now.
Mr. Jenkins all along.
Go ahead and add oil to
Old
your
man
inventory.
Jenkins.
You are probably
Oh.
going through screen door withdrawal, right? You haven't
Yeah,
had a
that's-
screen door in
You're
several
right.
episodes.
Yeah, well, see, if I was in Roy's body, I would physically be like breaking down, but because I'm in Decla's body, he doesn't have the physical withdrawal. It's just mental withdrawal.
Got it.
Start
Nice.
seeing screen doors everywhere.
Nice playing that character that way. That's cool.
I picked back up the black light. I don't know if I said that.
That's fine.
I guess I'll go upstairs and try and find Rocky now because I've solved all the mysteries down here. I'm gonna ignore the other doors. Oh wait, you know what? He went up those stairs, so I'll go back down the hallway and go up these stairs to
Nice.
be different and
Nice.
better.
Just
Oh, I see how it is.
Fuck you.
Nice.
Whoa there, buddy.
Find
He's your
him
brother.
first.
Come on, dude. Sick.
Not.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
in
tech-
Declan's body.
Not their bodies.
Yeah.
It's your body. All right.
Everybody knows it's only physical.
Yep.
It's just physical.
Physical.
All right.
Fizzy Coke.
So I'm going to go ahead and illuminate that for you. Give me 2
Physical.
seconds here. I want to hear your body talk. Body talk.
I don't. No. No thanks.
Especially when you eat beans. You eat beans.
Yeah.
I've never eaten beans in my life.
Oh God, it's made out of Mr. Bean.
Matt doesn't like beans either.
That'd be a
mean,
funny
Rowan
kill.
Atkinson.
All right. So you'll need to scroll up a bit, Matt or
Yep.
Gaby. So this is where you came up, and
Gaby,
let me give
baby.
you a few more doors here to play with.
Doors, awesome.
Oil everyone that you come across.
Yes.
No.
And drip a little on the floor as you go so it's slippery.
I'm gonna convince Rocky that it's like drinking water.
And in the distance, you hear, doon 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 doon.
Sorry, I left the stereo on. I like a little background music while I study.
All right, I think that's all the doors and the hallway. So you find yourself in this hallway with, yet again, many, many doors.
Hell yeah! I go in the first door I see immediately.
This episode of the Lovecraft tapes, doors, doors, doors.
And that's the one right there to the east.
Right in front of me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like where he's facing.
All right,
He's looking at the door.
looking at the door.
Looking at the door.
Here we go. I'm going to
Looks
reveal this
like-
for you because this is a nice one.
Oh, good. I like
Nice.
the nice ones.
That's why I say
Door number
man, nice
69.
cabin.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
All right, boom. Let me make sure we got this proper. Boop. Nope, that
We
is
just missed nice day.
completely
That
off
was yesterday.
kilter. That was yesterday.
Yeah. Someone actually went on to figure out that August 23rd is 69 days away from Halloween and 420 days from Christmas.
It's a day life goes on. All right.
Master.
So, yeah, baby, this is the big one.
Master.
Welcome to the captain's quarters are small but well appointed. The bed is functional yet comfortable looking. Time for a nap, Roy. With satin sheets and plush comforter. A tidy bar stocked with fine liquor stands at attention nearby. Marked up nautical charts decorate the corkboard hanging over the teak desk, upon which are stacked a mix of well-worn, leather-bound books, including bad spy novels, French and Portuguese translation dictionaries, and a slew of log journals. And I think that's where we need to leave you. We're going to go back to Rocky real quick.
No.
Yes, because I think we're going to end up with Jack today. Rocky,
Jack,
you're standing
Jack,
on the
Jack.
bridge. Or actually, I'm sorry, you went into the chart room,
Yeah,
didn't
I'm in
you?
the chart room.
All right, you are
Look at that
standing.
chart.
And you are actually doing a bit of a...
Library use.
That is exactly right. Please roll library use, Rocky.
I needed a 70 and I rolled a 4. That's extreme success.
You know every inch of the oceans.
So you're poring over these logs, and it's the pieces of the puzzle are all starting to come together. And you find one particular entry which clicks for you, but in a most horrifying fashion. It shows that the last time the ship fueled was in Lisbon on October 25th, 1999, en route to Horta, a small island in the Azores. Jack,
What?
you're looking at an empty chair in the
I'm going to look around the room in a low voice, as low as quiet as I can, but loud enough for anybody in the tent to hear. Carl! Carl!
Coral.
Oh, it's such a beautiful name. Just
Carl!
Pam! Pam!
Are you here, Carl?
Coral.
You get no response, but you
Then
do.
I cup my hand over my ear or behind my ear.
You do hear a sort of flapping noise towards the rear of the tent.
Hey, there's no fappening in here, Carl.
I was alone.
The hood got me going.
Coral.
I'm gonna make a beeline to the back of the tent and look for the escape.
Not the bees.
And indeed, you find
The
a
same
slit,
island I've been looking at.
a slit in the back of the. Excuse me. A slit in the back of the tent,
Okay,
and it looks like it was just like an L shape,
got it.
and
Cut like a flap.
cut like a flap.
Like
Cuts
a
like a knife.
All right, I'm
should
going to go
knock
through
on
the
that one,
flap.
too.
I'm not even going to miss a beat. I'm going to go through the flap and start looking to see what direction that he might have gone in.
All right, so you wriggle out the back of the flap,
Wrigley's.
Wrigley's, and you can see a little bit of disturbance in the dirt right below the flap. And
Sense
back
of
here, you're
disturbance
sort of, it's a bit hidden, right? So it's a bit of a cover from the rest of the encampment.
Right.
And you see footsteps walking away.
Okay. I'm going to calmly and confidently follow those footsteps like I doing what I do every damn day in this camp.
Please give me a track roll.
I don't want to. I needed a 58. I rolled a 57. That's a success.
All right. So, yeah.
Finally, the only good roll of the day for me.
All right. Give me 2 seconds here.
Lucky you didn't waste that on the squab.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, you quite easily. And give me 2 seconds here. I want to send.
Time's up.
Time's up. I'm trying to think how I want to play this.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no,
You've got 7
I'll
minutes.
just do it. I'll just do it. So yeah, you see the tracks lead basically towards the east of the valley, towards where the underbrush and the forest is becoming thicker and thicker
Okay.
before it ascends upwards.
To this peak here.
Nope, other way.
That would be to the west.
Yep, this is east.
Got it.
Yep.
I didn't hear the east part, sorry. My ears are a little clogged.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
If you would quit doing things with 2,700 kids.
Well, it's my job.
Quit your job.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
I suppose you got your own private island too.
Yeah. I've got my private Idaho.
Idaho.
So what are you going to
Hey.
do, Jack? You can see quite clearly the tracks lead eastward toward the...
Yep, I'm going to follow the tracks and pick up speed now that I know that I'm a little bit undercover and nobody can see me.
Okay.
Don't do drugs.
I'm going to get my strider out and I'm going to start riding my strider after him.
All right. So you very quickly leave the encampment behind and manage to gain underbrush, which gives you further cover. And then after just a few minutes, at your speed, you are in the beginnings of a forest,
Okay.
just at the outskirts. And
Carl, I've got your water and bread.
And
Well, I got some water. I ate the bread. And I
Yeah.
kind of drank the water too.
and as you yell this out, or not yell this out, but sort of whisper yell.
Yell, whisper.
I don't have that button on here. Yell whisper. It's not on here.
Roll for yell whisper.
Then you see Carl peek out from behind one of the trees, sort
Okay.
of grinning, and he has all of his equipment with him.
Nice.
I'll let you guys take it from there.
Carl, they're gonna know that you left.
Coral.
Or they're gonna think that you let me go.
That's why I'm here.
Wait, what?
Turn around,
maybe
get
you
on the
should-
ground.
Maybe you shouldn't go back. Let's
I
get
don't
the
think
hell
I
out of
want to
here.
go back. We've got another ally in camp to help us.
We have another ally? Are you sure?
The chef. He makes a really good bowl of soup.
I've never trusted a chef before.
Okay. Do you have a plan?
Get off the island.
We've got to stop this.
Check your
We can't.
chat. Check your chat, Carl.
Metagame.
Do you know? Can we get out of here safely? Is there a way around this camp? You had those pictures I showed you.
Yeah, but you told me not to show anybody else. They were just for us.
No, is there?
Private pics.
Was there a trail out of this camp, or are we just gonna hike through jungle?
No, there's a way out. I think.
There's always a way out.
Carl knows because Carl has
Yeah.
more intimate knowledge.
He's been with this island before. They broke up for a while, but
Do you have any idea what these people are doing here, though?
I do. I do. They're trying to open a portal to destroy the planet and kill all life on the planet. I know that sounds very strange, but I was at the first portal that was just opened. And I have something else I need to tell you.
Technically,
Not the
that was the
strangest
second,
thing I've
not the
heard,
third.
but
I'm not Dan Williams.
I don't know who Dan Williams is.
That's the body that I'm in. My name is Jack Whiteside. I'm an FBI agent, special agent.
Okay, that actually is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Something happened. I was trying to stop them from completing the ritual on top of the volcano at Hakuna Matata. And we failed. I think we failed. And I woke up here in this camp inside Dan Williams's body.
Do you know anybody else that's here?
I know you, Carl. Yes, I know who's heading up this. She used to be a director for the FBI, obviously. no
Assistant.
Stop
sorry,
giving
you're not
people too much
here,
credit.
longer.
So you're saying the U.S. government's behind this?
No,
Start jotting
she's
down a note.
she's gone rogue. She's not with the U.S. government.
Oh, okay. That would actually explain a lot more if they were.
Yeah, it unfortunately does not. But I like your tree. It's a nice tree.
It is a nice tree.
No. Bad tree.
Let's put our heads together and see if we can come up with a plan to stop this before my voice completely
Ow.
disappears.
I knock my head against yours. No, it didn't
Oh,
work.
my voice is great now. Thank you.
Just had to hit the reset button. All right. I think that's good. Tune in next time as we play another reel of the Lovecraft tapes. All right. Any thoughts and theories? Talk.
I think
Well,
you
we
guys
now
are on a
know-
ghost ship.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I know where you guys are now. I don't know where we are specifically, but
Well,
you
You know
know,
when you are?
that's a good question. I don't know when I am.
You could be in the future. You could be on the boat that we're going to get on, and everybody died getting away from whatever happens because we screw it up.
Future.
I don't know when
I'll be able to read
when I am at
fortune.
either. Taco Bash.
Ah!
So
But I do think you're going to like totally
I think
screw
you're
us.
right.
Or screw you,
Yeah.
really.
Ooh.
Well, he tried. Rubbing my
Lovecraft
back like
tapes
that.
after
Who,
dark.
who is going to screw
yeah.
up?
The chef.
The chef.
Kajo?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did not do a very good job with the root.
I didn't root enough.
A substandard of root sucking.
You have to roto root.
All right, guys.
That's the
Well,
worst
now
I've had, but not the best.
I beg to differ. Now it's time for some hashtag recommendos. Please roll D100.
33.
Looking good. Looking good. All right. So it looks like we are going to do. Gabe's going to start us off again. Nicely done. Followed by Matt, Brian, Zach, and I'll close us out. Gabe, take it away.
Okay, so now that Invader Zim Enter the Florpus is out, which I would highly recommend, but it's not my recommendo.
Oh.
Because Invader Zim's a great show, and that does hold up to its standard level of quality despite coming out like over a decade later, which is impressive. I am going to recommend someone by the same creator, though. It's called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Ooh.
It's a comic. It has like a partner comic called Squee, which you should also read. It's one of the funniest things I've ever read. It's about this guy named Johnny, who is a homicidal, suicidal genocidal maniac, and he just like hangs out and like sort of befriends the like very young child next door and keeps terrifying him, but his parents like don't believe him, and there's like all these long cuts of like how he's like putting his victims through the ringer and how he like basically torments them in his house, but then he also like will get depressed and he'll like end up confiding in them a lot, and it's just the whole thing is it's so well drawn and so well written, and it's so funny even though it doesn't necessarily sound like it would be. The whole experience is just something you got to really read to understand, and if you like Invader Zim, it's by the same guy, so it's very adult, but it's the same level of humor but for adults. So I mean, just transfer that and add swearing, so you're good. And a lot of gore. So yeah, that's
Nice.
Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, Matt, you're up.
This week I got a new game for you. It's a game called Outer Wilds, developed by Mobius Digital, published by Anna Perina, the people behind What Remains of Edith Finch.
Mm-hmm.
If you've played that. So Outer Wilds is, in its essence, like an open world puzzle solving game. So you take on the role of the newest recruit to a company called the Outer Wilds Ventures, essentially a space exploration program. So at the beginning of the game, they kind of walk you through the basics. They give you your ship, and that's it. You have a little computer on your ship, which gives you where you collect clues and hints. And once you can fly your ship around the little mini solar system they have, they're like 5 or 6 little planets you can pilot between however you wish. It's literally totally up to you to figure everything out. They give you a couple of hints to start out with, and from there, it's up to you. Like, there's no hand-holding whatsoever. It's, you got to find it, you got to do the research, you got to do the digging, and the more you explore these individual planets, the more you'll see things connecting. So you'll go, okay, so now I have to go find this on this planet, and that's going to lead you over here. And it reveals this really interesting like web of connections that tell a really, really great story. And one of the fun things is a lot of the planets are dynamic. They change over time. So there's some of the puzzles have like a time aspect to it, because, if you go to a planet later on, then, something might not be there anymore. So it's So it's a really great balance of puzzle solving. The clues and the mysteries are well laid out, and I love the fact that they don't handhold at all. They trust the player is smart enough to figure it out on their own, and they let them do that. Also, the soundtrack is amazing. Like I've started listening to it now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an amazing game, and it is easily the current top contender for my game of the year for 2019.
And what was the name of that again?
Outer Wilds. It's available on Xbox, on Game Pass on Xbox if you have that, or you can buy it there or on the Epic Games Store for $25. And I highly recommend you do because it is amazing.
Cool. Thank you. Check that out because I did like the Edith Finch thing. I thought it was a bit too short. Hopefully this one's a bit better. And Brian, you're up. Can't hear you, buddy.
Unmute your microphone. There you go.
Sorry, I was coughing and hacking. I figured it's better to mute it than to...
Please don't cough or hack.
Oh. Mine's a game as well. I downloaded recently, I think it's on the Xbox store, the BioShock, the collection. And I'm replaying all the BioShock games. I just finished the first BioShock.
So
I still say that's probably one of the best games that has ever been made. It is a phenomenal game. If you've never played BioShock, the first game, the story, the twist, the controls, the amount of options that you have in completing this, it's fantastic. Basically, you're on your crashed plane at the beginning, and you find a light tower, and you go down into this underwater city that was created by a man that didn't want to have to follow any of the rules of the world. He wanted his own space, his own civilization, basically. And the science progressed into converting humans into having abilities like shooting electricity from their hands or swarms of bees. And your whole mission is to try to figure out, first off, who you are and what happened to you, but also to help this person who is helping guide you through the whole underwater environment to stop a madman from killing his family. And he's constantly in radio contact with you, and you're trying to work your way through all these different broken down areas, and you're being attacked by splicers, which are humans that have changed their DNA so much that they've gone insane, and they just try to attack you. So most people, I'm sure, have heard of BioShock. There's 3 of them out currently, but if you have a chance, go back and definitely replay the first one. It is a fantastic story back when games were made to tell a story and entertain you, not just to get that almighty dollar out of your pocket.
Still are. Good ones still are.
So, very, very few at this point, unfortunately.
Just because you don't look doesn't mean they're not there.
That's true. Let's have a fight about games on my recommendo.
Nerd fight.
It definitely has a literary bent too, because I truly love that it's very connected to Atlas Shrugged or even 1984 with the background of the geniuses leaving the real world and putting their scientific effort without being regulated and without being contained by other rules and people.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
And Brian has heard me say this.
Close to Fortnite, but not as good as Fortnite.
And Brian's heard me say this before, but I'm willing to say it again, that if I could erase all memory of one single game and play it over from the start, knowing
it'd be Minecraft.
That's my recommendo. Gabe's would be Pac-Man.
I already gave a recommendo, Brian.
All right.
And not a game.
Zach, I think you're up next.
I'm gonna say this is a show that I really enjoy. It's not really old, but it's about 2-3 years ago it came out. Stand Against Evil. Mainly, I brought it up because you guys remind me of that show a lot. Maybe slightly older characters, a little bit grumpier, but it truly, Roy is the main character in that show, just like about the age of 50. So Roy's getting there, but yes, the ability of how they solve the cases, how they stop demons, because long story short, it's a town that burned a whole lot of witches, and then the witches come back and they curse the town that their sheriffs have to die horrible deaths every time there's a sheriff, because the sheriff's the one that burned them back during colonial times. And the current one actually got a chance to retire because his wife basically kept saving him the whole time. New sheriff takes over, demons come back, and of course it's monster of the week every time. But movie, actually Mothra versus King Kong, kind of. You'll have to see it to even to begin to describe it. But the way they solve the cases of how to get rid of the demons, how to solve the murders, don't take offense to this, but it's very much like this group. Sometimes they're right on track and get all the clues, and sometimes they go all the way around the block and come the other direction that nobody expected, and then it's something very simple like, oh, I got to smash this one object. Okay, crack, and the whole thing's done. So hilarious show, really well written in my opinion. At least the first 2 seasons were really good. The third one's a little shaky, but anybody that loves this podcast should love that show.
That's awesome. I just started watching that this week. I'm 2 episodes in.
Oh, it's
it's really fun.
Great.
And if people want to watch it, where can they find it?
Oh, I apologize. I'm watching on Hulu, but I think I'm not sure if it's out there on any other platform, but Hulu.
I'm watching
on
on
there.
Hulu as well. Yeah.
Yep, and I think one of the writers on that is Dana Gould, who I love. He's a writer.
I think
on,
producer as well. Yeah.
Yeah, on The Simpsons, but also just a hilarious guy. If you've never seen his stand-up, he has a really old stand-up from I think the 90s, and one of the best lines that he delivers is, he used to play old comedy clubs like Uncle Fucker's Chuckle Hutch. I just love his delivery.
Oh, and the guest stars are amazing, and you have to like it because Jeffrey Combs is in it at least one episode.
Okay, sold.
So
Yep,
if Jeffrey
sold.
Combs is in it,
Yep, I'm a Jeffrey Combs completist, so I will definitely check that out. All right, thanks, Zach. And I'm going to close this off with a horror movie.
What?
I know, shocking.
Surprise, surprise.
So, for whatever reason, I avoided seeing a movie that was on every video shelf in America, has the best cover, and this would have been when I was 19 years old, so I'm not sure why I didn't watch this, but I finally got around to watching Chopping Mall from 1986. Directed by Jim Wynorski, starring Barbara Crampton of Reanimator, From Beyond, Castle Freak, You're Next, Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich, Beyond the Gates, We Are Still Here, and I did not know this, but Brian De Palma's body double? I love Barbara Crampton. It has a cameo by Angus Scrimm, the tall man from Phantasm. And, of course, Dick Miller, who is everywhere, as a janitor who dies real good. The plot is pretty simple. It's a bunch of young, horny teenagers who hide out in Daddy's furniture store after the mall closes in order to drink, show off their boobs, and have premarital sex.
Uh-oh.
And, for those who are asking, yes, you get to see Barbara Crampton in all her glory, which is, for me, amazing. Unfortunately, the mall locks down entirely with steel firewall doors for some reason, and is then patrolled by 3 robots who have gone wacko after lightning strikes the building. The robots are basically the prototype for Ed 209 from RoboCop, so I guess like Ed 109. They have lasers and tasers and darts. The teens die off in pretty sweet, horrific fashion, including a full-on 80s classic head explosion, which I always love and appreciate. But eventually they do fight back against the robots using whatever they can find at the hardware store and sporting goods store. Because, sporting goods stores sold, shotguns in the malls back in the 80s.
Yes, they did.
They also try to escape via the heat vents a la Die Hard. And Crampton, unfortunately, this is her worst performance. She cries annoyingly throughout the whole heat vent thing, which I found very annoying. Now, the Chopping Mall is the definition of a bad movie that's so ludicrous, it's hilarious. And it sort of is nonstop action fun. It's very silly, but it's also like you don't get bored. Now, if you're interested in Jim Wynorski, he has directed many, many terrible movies, such as The Return of Swamp Thing, Deathstalker 2, Sorority House Massacre 2, 967 Evil 2, 976 Evil 2. Sorry about that. Ghoulies 4, Piranaconda, Shark and Saw Women's Prison Massacre, Dino Croc Supergator, Munchie,
I like it.
Munchie Strikes Back, and the seminal classic House on Hooter Hill. Plus, literally, if you go to Letterboxd and look him up, there's way too many to mention. They're all just crazy ass. But in reality, you can just skip all that crap and just get out and watch Chopping Mall. It's on Shudder now, and I'm sure you can find it many other places, but on Shudder it was very well appreciated because they do just such a great job of making these old flicks look amazing, and I'm so happy that I went back and watched it.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Music, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere you download your regular podcasts. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review. Meanwhile, you can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to all our hashtag recommendos and social media channels, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our Discord server, where you can chat with us in real time. You can find me on Twitter at LovecraftTapes.
Oh. And hold on, I have a joke here, but I need to look. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm double checking.
So good on YouTube.
Oh yeah. And if anybody else wants to hop onto my motherfucking boat, you can hit me up on Twitter at @TheRealWeirdKid.
And if you something witty joke, you can find me at Lovecraft Gabe.
Oh, if anybody can help me not get sick from 2,700 kids, you can hit me up at Brian Podcast on Twitter. Also Discord.
And you can't find me anywhere except for here because I'm, like I said, less social than even Gabe is.
All right.
Which is impressive.
Well, until next time, roll for motherfucking boats.
Yeah.
Stop, the boats are coming after our mothers.